I'm sure everybody has better things to do than be paying attention to the G20, COP26, and all that kind of happy horseshit. I'm waiting for it all to just kind of wrap up before I do like a little segment on it, because it's just all hypocritical horseshit, because they're all just fucking flying together. They're all flying to Glasgow on private jets, okay? Individuals, corporations, multiple people within certain administrations descending into one fucking centralized location, all put on and all hosted by the United Nations to tell us all how bad we are for, I don't know, just having our own personal vehicles, okay, emitting any sort of carbon out there, and oh, it's gonna get cold this winter, but then you should feel bad for the people who don't have anything, so you need to stop emitting so much pollution, you bad person, because climate change is exclusively man-made at this point. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, eventually we'll get to that shit, okay? But right now, we just got to talk about how bad Joe Biden is, okay? I know we talk about this a lot, but it's really starting to come to the forefront, mostly because, yeah, there hasn't been a lot of, like big, important news stories lately. Like, there's a couple of things just bubbling under the surface, but when that's the case, his lowlights really jump off the page, like falling asleep again in public because he's old and very senile. Busy schedule getting you down, Sleepy Joe. Biden appears to fall asleep while listening to the first speaker. Okay, this wasn't even like 3 hours into the presentation. This was like, oh, I can finally sit down, put up my feet, and what? Huh? Yeah. After packed weekend meeting with the Pope and the G20 in Rome. Awesome. Cool. Arriving in Edinburgh, Scotland. Was I saying Glasgow? I thought it was Glasgow, but I guess it's Edinburgh. My mistake. I guess I'm a little bit too sleepy. I guess I need to get some much needed sleep, because I had a big weekend meeting with cashier at the store, doing some nothing. Anyways, President Biden's whirlwind European tour, appears to be catching up with him. That, or the fact that he was, up and about for more than 4 hours a day, as I can't believe, 78, was caught resting his eyes during the opening remarks of the COP26 climate conference in Glasgow on Monday. Oh, the president looked to be dozing off as one speaker underscored the importance of taking action to save the climate and blah, blah, blah. A bunch of other fucking hippie horse shit. 78-year-old Biden and his fitness for the job have been scrutinized by critics, including Donald Trump and anybody who can see that he stumbles over more words than the contestants row at a peanut butter spelling bee. But no, it's just Orange Man and his maggots that are out there, whatever. While his polling numbers have put pressure on his, that's one way to put just absolutely dive bombing, and he's having to fucking cope with some laughable statements, which hopefully we'll get into. Anyways, yeah, he hadn't released a medical report since 2019 when his old headeroo blew a couple of spigots, but whatever. And Jen Psaki, who, I was going to get to this in the third one, but since her name popped up, yeah, she's dying of AIDS. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Test positive for the coof after being, fully vaccinated and catching it from a family member. Again, hopefully she makes a full and total and complete recovery. I wish nothing but swift recovery for Raggedy Ann there. Good for her. Prayers up. I hear it's deadly and everybody's dropping dead and some shit like that. Maybe you should wear a mask at the podium or something. I don't fucking know. But again, I don't wish anything bad on her. Mostly because I'd love for her to just circle back and make some more very stupid statements, because they're fun to go over. Has deflected questions about his health and coughing during speeches, or just leaning in and whispering and making everybody uncomfortable. That's all very strange. Later on, Biden himself took the stage as to deliver his own warning on the impending doom of climate change and wiped. What did he wipe? That seems weird. Climate change is already ravaging the world. Like me at a daycare. It's not hypothetical, like my presidency. This is a decisive decade in which we have an opportunity to prove ourselves, and hopefully I'll make it through. I don't wish anything ill on him either, but, fucking writings on the wall, my dude. We can keep the goal of limiting global warming to just 1.5 degrees Celsius if we come together. Yeah, it seems like Yeah, that's quite a big change. Like, what's your time horizon? But whatever. We're still falling short. There's no time to hang back or sit on the fence, even though it's comfy and it just fits so nicely between my cheeks. Or argue amongst ourselves. Yeah, just stop asking questions and just fucking listen. This is a challenge of our collective lifetimes. Glasgow must kick off. Where we're in Edinburgh? Fuck, I'm sorry. A decade of ambition and innovation to preserve our shared future. Oh my God, literally. The president took a swing at Donald Trump, your predecessor, and that's former President Trump to you, fucker. In a separate speech at the conference, I shouldn't apologize, but I do apologize, Biden said of Trump taking him out of the Paris Climate Agreement. Yeah, and you don't want to mention that he also dropped carbon emissions by just reducing all the regulations and getting out of that fucking worthless deal. But yeah, no, just say, oh, he was a mean man because he didn't want to work with those fucking goddamn frog suckers. But yeah, there he is. He's sitting in the crowd looking very, very lucid, and then he falls asleep. And I guess we know what's in that cup. Must be a nice glass of warm milk. And then somebody comes over. I have no idea who that is. Yeah, he's like, sir, you're making a jackass out of yourself. Could you please try to stay awake for longer than 45 minutes? He's like, I don't know, sport. I'll give it my best. And somebody please get me a tissue because I'm 78 fucking years old and everything leaks. God damn it. He's asking Boris Johnson where he gets his hair done because he's never seen anything look so natural on somebody's cranium in the past 50 years. Oh, but not to be outdone, he was later falling asleep when listening to something from Lurch. I'm sorry, John Kerry there. And to be fair, though, I gotta give a little bit of deference to Biden on this one because if you've ever heard John Kerry speak, it's a little bit tough to stay awake for him. But yeah, more Biden, just absolute stupidity. Biden's administration's COVID-19 vaccine mandate for private business to be published soon. Okay, I've been hearing this threat for a long time. It's November 1st. It was announced, like mid-September? But it's going to be coming soon. They were just trying to invent the laws that we're going to use to enforce it? Or like, what the fuck are we doing here? Okay. The proposed federal COVID-19 vaccine mandate for private businesses across the United States is set to be published in the near future, President Joe Biden's administration said Monday. Cool. The Occupational Health and Safety Administration, an office inside the Department of Labor, developed the mandate. Awesome. I don't know what you're going to be pointing to, but some things actually going to have to go in front of the courts to get figured out? Like, is there tangible evidence and there's certain barriers that need to be crossed in order to make this mandate legally binding? We'll have to see. OSHA submitted the emergency temporary standard to the White House Office of Management and Budget on October 12th for review. I don't think that one's been publicly available. I've been looking for it. I've just been unable to come across it. That review was completed on November 1st, a Department of Labor spokesperson told Epoch News. Yeah, okay. The Federal Register will publish the emergency temporary standard. Oh, just like how all of these vaccines are getting used under an emergency authorization use. So it's going to be an emergency temporary standard. Okay, yeah, and there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government procedure. A flurry of lawsuits are expected to be lodged once the text of the rules are made public, and critics argue it's unconstitutional, a broad overreach of federal powers. Oh, but if you go on social media, they just constantly tell you over and over again, oh, experts believe that it's totally legally binding, and you should all just be getting 9 jabs at this point just to be safe, because we don't know what fully vaccinated it's going to be in a month. Evil motherfuckers, I tell you, man. But yeah, just a little bit more about what Joe Biden was talking about in what looks to be like a Holiday Inn fucking conference room. Like, could you find cheaper places with some of the cheapest polyester flags he could have possibly found? My God, looks like a porn set. That'd be appropriate because he is fucking the nation. Biden pushing OPEC to boost oil output, not at all inconsistent with climate goals. Yeah, okay, it's somehow, I don't know, a big climate catastrophe if North America were to become energy independent like they were, how many decades ago? Oh, right, just like 18 months ago. Anyways, yeah, that would somehow be bad, but if OPEC and North America needed to buy all of their fuel from fucking Russia and from Europe over there, that's somehow fine. Oh, in the Middle East, sorry. Yeah, Russia and the Middle East. If they were to just buy it from them, that'd be cool. How do you spin this? I wouldn't ask Biden anyways. He wouldn't have an answer for anybody. Biden said on Sunday that it was not at all inconsistent. Oh, okay, cool. For him to push energy-producing countries to ramp up production of fossil fuels, while also urging others to lower emissions in line with his climate goals. Speaking at a press conference following days of negotiations in Rome between leaders of the group of a group of 20 major economies. Yeah, Canada was there, but we'll talk about them more, oh God, tomorrow if I can get my blood pressure low enough, because this country is fucked. But anyways, yeah, back to one that at least kind of has a hope in the short to midterm. Biden made remarks in response to the questions from a reporter who asked whether he saw any irony in pushing nations to increase oil production, while at the same time attending COP climate talks in Glasgow, Scotland, to urge people to lower emissions. So was it in Glasgow or was it in Edinburgh? Maybe it was in both places. Who knows? They probably flew to both. Well, on the surface, it seems like irony, doesn't it? But then, hey, if you walk a cow 14 miles, you get yourself a bale of hay. That's at least what we used to say up in Delaware. Oh, but the truth of the matter is, come on, man. And, here's the thing. Look at the deal. We've all known, everyone knows, everybody wants to know who knows that the idea we're going to get to more renewable energy overnight and not have, from this moment on, not to use oil and not to use gas or not to use hydrogen. Yeah. Yes, just fill up your dirigibles with hydrogen, you fucking fossil. The president said, defending his position. Oh, okay, cool. So instead of letting the places that were just producing it in order to, prevent any shortages or downfalls, no, we're just going to buy it and ship it where there'd be more of a, not really climate, but an environmental problem if there were to be a spill or, again, none of this shit makes sense. We could just extrapolate that out further. But again, it's just all about controlling you, and a fearful, desperate population is much easier to control, radically change, than one that is just content and eager for tomorrow. But yeah, all of that rambling disaster, not mine, but Biden when he's up there at the podium. Yeah, a majority of voters view Biden as a weak commander-in-chief. No, I thought it would have been an overwhelmingly supportive poll of Biden. Come on, he's obviously the most popular president of all time. Doesn't that make him a strong individual? Don't you think that he's just a real stand-up guy? Most voters view President Biden as a weak commander-in-chief, as Rasmussen report. Oh, right-wing Rasmussen, what did they know? Only that they were pretty much bang on just about everything that they polled over the past, I don't know, fucking decades, but whatever. Survey released on Monday found. The survey asked, compared to the most recent presidents, oh, that sucks, is President Biden a stronger commander-in-chief for the military or a weaker one? Or is his performance as commander-in-chief about the same? Interesting phrasing on that one. So this is specifically talking about the military and Afghanistan. Oh, that happened years ago at this point. Nobody even remembers any of that stuff happening, right? Overall, a majority, 54%, say Biden is a weaker leader, followed by 24% who said he's stronger. Then who? Okay? Compared to previous presidents, okay? Carter's a fairly popular comparison, but Carter's failings were over 4 years. We're looking at months at this point, and he's done as much disaster as Jimmy did in 4 years in months. So I think that would be a very derogatory comparison for old Jimmy Carter, who's, and I mean this with all sincerity, will probably outlive us all, sitting in his creepy dollhouse. Maybe people had that picture in their mind where Joe and Jill Biden looked to be 35 feet taller than Rosalind and Jimmy Carter in their weird staged home picture. They looked physically stronger than them, so maybe that's what they're going. I don't know. Where are these 24%, man? Those are those dyed-in-the-wall fucking blue no matter who voters, okay? And 15% said he's about the same. Those are just the black pill that are out there. It's like, it doesn't matter who's on top. It doesn't matter who's there. It's just all the same. It's the deep state. It's the Illuminati. It's the Rockefellers. It's the Carnegies. It's all of those. Yeah, it's like, okay, we got it. And it's just like, okay, get in your bug out bunker and head to the hills, even though that does sound like a pretty cool idea right now. But with that said, in comparison, in June of 2018, 40% of voters and a majority of those with military experience said President Donald Trump was a stronger commander-in-chief for the military than most recent presidents. Yeah, no, makes sense. Because he didn't have to wield the entire force of the United States Armed Forces in order to just justify the size of his dick. Like Bush, like Obama. Clinton really didn't give a fuck, but no, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Opinions vary on party lines. As an overwhelming majority of Republicans, 85% say Biden is a weaker leader compared to 58% of independents. Again, anytime that we see these polls, I like to take a look at what the independents are thinking, and boy, do they hate Biden, okay? Because Republicans are always going to hate Biden, okay? That's fair, okay? And Democrats are always going to generally appreciate him. Like, even, okay, a plurality of Democrats, 43%, believe Biden is a stronger commander-in-chief. So that means that, 57% are either, I don't know, or yeah, he's probably worse. Oh, I'm sorry, only 31% say that he's a weaker leader. Like, again, okay, you could just kind of take both of those parties and then just drop them off to the side. But the independents coming in at a 58% clip, that's got to tell you something, okay? That if there was a vote that was just, okay, magically we're just a 1-year presidential cycle, okay? We're just coming back and we're running it back. And the 1-year anniversary of that is Thursday? Jesus fucking Christ, 1 whole year. What a time it's been. We're just running it back then? Really think that those razor thin margins in some of those states would be that thin? I don't know, man. Nothing of that really sits right, and that's about as far as you can go on stupid YouTube. One of these days, they'll just have to do a special video on Rumble to just talk about presidential elections and different things that I've been knocking around my head when it comes to the coof. But we'll see. We'll see if there's any demand for that. Follows the survey was taken October 27th through 28th among 1,000 likely U.S. voters and has a margin of error of about 3%. Yeah, but still, okay? Not really a large sample size, but it's pretty consistent among a bunch of different polls. But you know what's even more damning? When you have, okay, a liberal base, overwhelmingly super sampling Democrats themselves, saying that 71% believe that the United States is on the wrong track, whatever that means. Okay, let's see if we can find more clarification here. But Chuck Todd on Meet the Press, a shocking NBC poll shows 71% believe the United States is on the wrong track. Scary news for Democrats. No, scary news for the nation. Because, okay, as much as I don't like Joe Biden and everything that he's been saying since he's become appointed emperor of the United States, I have not liked any of it that he's done, okay? I still wish the best for the United States. I want everybody to succeed, okay? So to say that it's scary news for Democrats? No, it's scary news for the losers who are only there to collect a paycheck, okay? It's scary news for everybody who has to deal with that for at least 1 more year, okay? And trust me, you don't want the immediate alternative because old Cop Mala ain't gonna be that much different. NBC anchor Chuck Todd debuted a new poll on Sunday's broadcast of Meet the Press, which showed 71% of Americans believe America is on the wrong track. Okay, questions abound on this one. Why would NBC be running this poll anyways? If you've seen something that bad about the party that you simp so fucking hard for, why would you have that on there? Okay, there's a lot of questions. Todd said, we have a brand new NBC News poll out this morning with some very scary news for Democrats. Oh, okay, they're just trying to get fear eyeballs on this one. For Democrats, an overarching message. Americans have lost confidence in President Joe Biden and their optimism for the country. Oh my God, please be afraid. Please stay tuned. We'll give you an answer. Whatever. At least they have right now. Just 22% of adults say that we are headed in the right direction. Wow. That must be the elites, the ones who are financing this disaster. A shocking 71% that we're on the wrong track, and that includes a near majority of Democrats who are saying that. He continued, President Joe Biden's approval rating stands at a dismal 42%. His words, not mine. Interesting. 42% versus a 54% who disapprove. Jesus. Now, believe it or not, just 2 months ago, President Joe Biden was in positive territory. 49% approving. That's not positive, but okay. So what's pulling down the president's numbers? Oh, I've got like 6 answers, but I'll let you explain your point. Look at this set of numbers. Just 37% says he has the ability to handle a crisis versus the majority that says he does not. He's definitely proven that, so I don't know what those 37% are on about. 37% also say he's competent and effective as president. Ouch. 50% disagree. Okay, so it's what, 50-50 with that description. What's more, Republicans, believe it or not, have double-digit leads in dealing with border security, inflation, crime, national security, the economy, and shockingly, on getting things done. Why is it shocking? Oh, right, you're on NBC and you're just talking already. You're preaching to the converted. That makes a little bit more sense. But I don't agree with getting things done and Republicans being in the same sentence. Been around the block too long. Democrats hold generally smaller double-digit leads on dealing with climate change, the coronavirus, education, and abortion. Cool. You can see the importance of the different points that Republicans are leading as opposed to what Democrats are leading, okay? Democrats love themselves some social issues, okay? Climate change, okay? How are you going to approach that? Too big, too nebulous for us to solve in one lifetime, okay? Coronavirus, what has your plan been other than just trying to mandate everybody and micromanage their lives? It's like, oh, okay. Education. I would actually think that if people could disassociate their liberal mindset from their box wine dependency, they'd realize that when it comes to their kids' education, they're probably a lot more, well, whatever constitutes today conservative mindset, and probably find yourself a little bit further over there. And then abortion, that's about a 50% position at this point. Like if you'd actually look at the Texas heartbeat bill right now, you know, the only one that's really making the headlines, 6 weeks, plenty of caveats. How about just don't get squirt up in you? That'd be a great way to fucking skirt the issue of having an abortion. Okay, it's not just a total fucking ban, okay, because bad things do happen. You need to have contingencies in place for that, but that shouldn't be the first line of defense. Just saying that there's plenty of other alternatives out there. And then when you take a look at Republicans, yeah, obviously border security, inflation, crime, national security, the economy. Those are things that a government should be looking after, and they're not. And that's why people just don't like Biden anymore. Really does suck to suck. But with that said, guys, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.